just a couple days ago. All of a sudden, this news breaks that all these screenshots of him sexting girls, evidently there's stuff about them being minors and all this kind of stuff. I find out as people are sending me this material that it looks like he had become associated with Catholic Answers, because someone sent me information demonstrating that basically they have ghosted him. If you go to the link that used to take you to his page at Catholic.com, it's gone. Just as they wish no one would remember that Jerry Matitix was ever with Catholic Answers, now they don't want anyone to remember that, at least briefly, evidently Alex Jurado had been, at least in some fashion, associated with Catholic Answers as well. And so I had not known that. I had not known that there was that association. Now, here's the problem. If these screenshots are real, then the young man's in trouble, and his apostolate, ministry, whatever you want to call it, is done. I will be the only he did debate an Eastern Orthodox guy, but that'll be it for Alex Jurado. But here's the problem. I need to be consistent here. I have not heard anything from Alex Jurado. As far as I can tell, he has gone silent. That can't stay that way. He has to come out and he has to tell folks yes or no. Yes, that's me in those screenshots. Yes, I wrote those things. Or no, this is all fake. It's a false accusation. Why do I say that? I have been saying for a long time, we live in the day of AI. We live in the day of electronic communication. I am very certain that the United States government has hacked into people's personal computers, put stuff on those computers that those people never knew was there, and then used that to prosecute them. I think all of us should be afraid of that. And now with AI, I mean, you didn't even have AI. I could almost make up screenshots, okay? You don't need to have the Google stuff creating videos. Microsoft Paint could almost do a screenshot type thing. And we all know screenshots are faked every single day. You know, we've all seen the one with Abraham Lincoln, saying you should not necessarily believe everything you see on the internet. Abraham Lincoln. It's a picture of Abraham Lincoln, so it must be him, right? Well, it's not, obviously. And so I have said, God's law says by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. And if the evidence against someone is purely electronic, given the state of forgery, fake, AI manipulation that exists today, I don't think as a Christian you can accept it. And you guys, that's totally naive. That's just the future. Listen, that could be a really dark future if we start accepting as evidence that which is uncertain and no one can ever know whether it's true or false. And so I've said more than once, God's law considers it heinous for an innocent man to be convicted of wrongdoing. More heinous than a guilty man getting away with it in this life. And that's where the issue is. It's in this life. We don't function on the basis anymore of, right after this life, there's something called the judgment. And it'll be according to righteousness, and all the motives and everything will be right out there to be seen. And, there you go. That's how that should be. Okay, so the chat rats posted this from Alex on his YouTube channel, The Voice of Reason, hours ago. I must address the accusations that have been circulating online over the last 24 hours. First and foremost, the accusation that I was having an inappropriate relationship with a 14-year-old girl is complete fabrication. I am treating an accusation of this magnitude with the seriousness it deserves. I have made my church aware of what's being said about me online, and we have contacted the authorities. I am voluntarily cooperating in an investigation that will allow the truth to come to light and will dispel this awful and vicious rumor. I am also prepared to undergo legal action against those who have defamed me. I must also sincerely apologize to everyone who has been hurt, shocked, and scandalized by these rumors. It is of great importance that I also acknowledge all of my mistakes, failures, and sins. I am a wretched sinner who is in desperate need of God's mercy, as well as in need of the forgiveness of those whom I have offended and sinned against. I must also thank everyone who has reached out to me privately, their support and their prayers, as well as everyone who I've seen defend me publicly. I ask for everyone's prayer in this very turbulent time. May God's mercy, love, and truth always prevail, and may He guard all our hearts always and forever. Okay, so I hadn't seen that. So thank you very much, guys, for posting that. All right. So if I'm going to be consistent, he says, but he's a Roman Catholic apologist. I know. If I'm going to be consistent, you wait to see what the outcome of all this stuff is. I would want to specifically ask which parts of the screenshots were fraudulent. Are any of them true? Are any of them accurate? Did you have inappropriate relationships or conversations with non-minors? Okay, people over 18. Stuff like that, because it's out there now. I mean, it's a shame they have to go there, but that's the way it is. So that's just how it has to be done. And we have to be consistent about it. And you might say, well, okay, for Christians, but no, the use of electronic entrapment and falsehood and lies, we can't stand for it. If you remember what happened with the Soviets, if you look at what's happening right now with the Chinese, authoritarian governments will do anything to their people to accomplish anything. So, no. If we're going to be consistent, if we're going to be able to respond to accusations against us, then we have to be the first ones to say, okay, he says it's fraudulent, then if authorities have been contacted, then need to find out what's going to come out from that and leave it there. Because I'm seeing all sorts of, this is already concluded, this is already done, he's gone, it's stuff out there. But my whole point that I was going to bring up in this conversation was we just can't go there. It's inappropriate for anybody in any context.